It's Wicked Wednesday. What kind of wickedness do we have to show you today? Well, this customer called me stating they were hearing some noises in their ceiling coming out of like the attic area, and they were hearing the noises in the ceiling. So, and they also said they noticed a hole that's been there since they moved in. A hole up by their soffit area by the roof line. So they told me that. So yeah, it's all we discussed over the phone. So we went to investigate. Here we go. Well, I showed up to investigate, and sure enough, first thing I noticed, big hole up by the soffit there, as you can see right here in this picture. Not very hard to miss that. This is one of those ones that just says come on in to any kind of wildlife as big as that hole is there. So got the ladder out to go get a closer look. Here I am looking inside that big hole by the soffit. As you can see, that runs the whole way down the soffit line. There was some bird droppings I noticed on the way up the ladder and right inside the hole here. I also, before this, I climbed inside the attic, and you can see over by the soffit line there was like a little trail in the insulation, so something was traveling through there. It's hard to tell from this picture, but if you look way towards the end, you can't even really see it in this picture, but there was a big amount of nesting debris at the complete opposite corner of where this hole was. You can't see it in this picture, you just see that little clump of nesting there, but it's way down the other side, and I saw that, so I wanted to go take a closer look at that. So first thing I did once I seen that is I went over to the opposite end of the soffit here in this picture. You can see I climbed up this ladder, and right where I'm pointing my finger, I tapped on that soffit where I saw that big clump of debris, and as soon as I tapped on it, something in there moved around. And you know, based on just that noise, you can't really tell what it is or what it was, but something was in there. And so I thought, well, we need to investigate this a little further. So I popped open a little section of the soffit there, and there's that huge amount of nesting debris I was talking about. It was pretty big and pretty thick as well. Yeah, so didn't see anything in there, so I started removing that nesting debris to get that out of there for the customer. As you can see here in this other picture, I start taking it down. So far, I was thinking birds, based on the evidence that I was finding so far, up until this point. It's right here. So as you can see in this picture, look at the gnaw marks on that wood there. Dead giveaway of, rodent, particularly squirrel. Definitely not something you're gonna see a bird doing something like that typically. And then also right here in this next picture, look at the soffit there. Look at the edge of the soffit. You can see where it was gnawed right along the edge. So now, I'm not ruling out birds because there was a lot of bird droppings, but definitely thinking there's also some kind of squirrel situation going on here. So yeah, now I was thinking definitely might be a squirrel in there, and that's possibly the noise that I heard when I tapped on the soffit. Definitely could be some birds that were using that area as well. So next step was set up a one-way door in case the squirrel is still in there. That way it can get out. I'm not locking it in there. And set a camera right by the device and see what happens, monitor any activity. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Well, there you have it. Had some birds trying to get back in there. They weren't too happy about what I did, so I'm thinking there was definitely some bird action going on. Starlings, as you can see, trying to get in there and nest or whatever. The camera didn't quite catch it fast enough, but the squirrel actually came out the one-way door. So it was still in the attic. So it came out the one-way door, and then as you can see in the videos, the squirrel was, looking to try and figure out how to get back in, and was not successful. So that's what it was. This was a double combination of birds and squirrel getting in the soffit area there, and that's what the customers were hearing. So went ahead and removed the one-way door and sealed that area up to stop it from happening again. So that's it. Have a nice week.